Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're mixing up another demo formula from Fraterworks. This one, Guerlain Djedi. Djedi was released in 1927. It was originally perfumed by or created by Jacques Guerlain, and I believe it was in celebration of the discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt. And in '96, Guerlain did a 1,000-bottle re-release of the fragrance. I believe this formula is based on that 1996 re-release, and I've got all the materials here, or at least my versions of them. Fraterworks has specifically in their demo formulas, they'll typically they'll put in some of their own blends, their own accords, but I've got basically everything. So we're gonna build this. My fear with this fragrance is that it's gonna be old. It's gonna smell like grandpa or grandma and just not be, to me, interesting. I think there's value in building these old fragrances and seeing what they smell like, seeing what the style was like at that time. But this thing is 50% vetiver. So there's still the classic ingredients like Musk Ambrette, Civet, Oakmoss, but there's Ionones, rose, jasmine. The hints of being older there when you put rose, Ionone, and jasmine roughly in equal parts, and then you have Oakmoss, Civet, and Musk Ambrette. That's a recipe for the 30s and 40s, 1930s and 1940s. But it's got a bunch of vetiver in it, so I'm really interested to see how this plays out. So what we're going to start with is I've got Musk Ambrette. We only need a splash of this. So I'm going to do this first because I'm trying to get this, given the dilutions that I have, the output of this will be roughly 10%. 10% concentration, 90% ethanol. So I've got two things at 100%. I've got Musk Ambrette and Bergamot. But we're going to start with the Musk Ambrette. I only need 0.005 grams. That's enough. Oh Lord. That is enough. That was the tiniest scoop. Okay. All we need. Good. Put that away. Don't need that anymore. And let's just get right to the vetiver. 5.5 grams of vetiver bourbon. Okay. That's going to be about 5 pipettes full. Boy, vetiver bourbon. You get the vetiver note, but it's earthy, it's woody, it's dark. Where Haitian vetiver comes out to me a little bit more bright, a little more edgy. But let's get it's got a beautiful color. Okay, 5.5 grams. Now this is for a 9.85 gram sample. Typically, I try to make all of these in 10 gram samples, roughly. That helps me get the right amount of some of the smaller ingredients, Every single drop is roughly 0.015 grams. So if there's something, say like safranal, and it needs 0.001 grams, either I've got to make a really, I got to make a 1% or 0.1% dilution, or I've got to make a bigger batch size. All right, 5, just about spot on. I love that. What I'm going to do is, now that I've got this, it might take the Musk Ambrette a while. Might have to put this on the old stove, but let's hope not. We are going to add in the other woods. We have patchouli, frankincense, and, well, it's not a wood, but we have oak moss. I'm going to add in all those, then we're going to smell it. Then we're going to add in Coumarin, Opoponax, and Benzoin Siam, and we're going to give it another smell. Then we're going to add in the animalics, Civet and Castoreum, give it a smell. Then we're going to add in the rose, smell, jasmine, smell, Ionones, smell, so on and so forth. So let's just start with the woods. Woods. This will be number 1. Let's get the patchouli, beautiful patchouli. There's just a splash in here, point, not really a splash, there's more than a splash, 0.15 grams. But patchouli has a wonderful knack of warming things up, giving woods a bit more body, a bit more breadth. Put that over here. Don't need vetiver. Frankincense. Wonderful frankincense from Roberte. We've got 0.3 grams here. Good. Frankincense adds a nice, spicy, peppery top end to woods. Kind of like how cedar gives you that dry hiss on top. Frankincense gives you something on top, but instead of that cedarwood hiss, in my mind, it's more of a ping. It's more of a snap on the top end. It's like to me, it's like opening up black pepper and smelling black pepper. All right, last up, Oakmoss Absolute, 0.2. Ooh, I love this color. It's about time for me to refill my Oakmoss here. I did just order some green Oakmoss from Yugoslavia. Green Yugoslavian Oakmoss from Fraterworks. I believe they're in New Zealand. So I'm looking forward to that coming my way. All right, the Musk Ambrette still has not dissolved. We're going to try to accelerate this for a hot second. Literally a hot second. I'm going to turn my heater on high. Give it a little shake. And I'm going to let this fully dissolve before I give it a smell. All right, that only took a couple minutes. But that Musk Ambrette is completely dissolved. So we'll get our woods here, which is again mostly vetiver. We'll get that set aside, and we will start next with our Coumarin, Opoponax, and Benzoin Siam. Let's start with the Coumarin, 0.35 grams in this particular formula. This is at 10% dilution, or this is a 10% concentration. Spot on. Good pour. Good pour. Next up, Opoponax. I love how Opoponax adds a sweet caramelic vibe to woods and vanillas. Last up, Benzoin Siam. I've got to refill this dilution soon, but the my actual Benzoin Siam, it's a 50% in benzyl benzoate. The lid is stuck, so I've got to get some pliers out or vice grips or whatever, try to get that lid open so I can refill this. Now there's a full gram of this of this stuff in here. And I'm excited. This is one of my favorite materials. It's so rich. It is deep, it's sweet, it's resinous, it's just so enjoyable. So enjoyable. All right. Give that a little mix so that when, pardon, so that we get a good dip here. Okay, benzoin. So here, let's just put sweets or resin. Let's just put resin. This is number 2. So far, we've got a really nice color. This nice golden brown color. And let's go back and let's smell our woods. I'm expecting vetiver. Yeah, it's vetiver. Oh, yeah, earthy, dark, with that rich vetiver note on bottom. We'll give the resins a moment to chill. Let's add the Castoreum and the Civet. And here we'll make another card And we'll just put animal. That'll be my reminder. Now the civet I have is at a 1% dilution. So I have 0.12 grams. And I wonder if this is going to be enough to actually smell. Oh, spot on. Holy cow. I wonder if there's going to be enough civet in here to actually smell that animalic note. Sometimes you cannot perceive the civet. It's just there to warm things up, thicken things up. And other times you can smell it. And it may or may not be a pleasing scent, depending on your predisposition. All right, Castoreum tincture. I've only got, this is a 10% dilution, and there's only 0.01 grams. That's basically 1 drop. Yeah, that's 1 drop. And I overdid that because 1 drop is roughly 0.015, so I'm just going to make that adjustment. 0.01. Oops, not 0.05, 0.015. Good. All right, give that a stir. Okay, what a rich color. Whew. And let's smell, again, the woods. This is vetiver, which is what you expect. Now with the Opoponax and the benzoin resinoid. Interesting. Whenever you add coumarin to your base, it gives it a little more liveliness, a little more freshness. And it doesn't take much. But it complements well the benzoin and the Opoponax. Still getting the earthiness from the vetiver. Yeah. Let's see what these animal notes did. Needs more time. Needs more time. Next up, we've got rose and Heliotrope X. I do not have Heliotrope N, but Heliotropex works pretty darn well. So the next scent strip, these will be our, we'll call these rose. Then we'll have jasmine. Then we'll have iris. And that's 4, 5, and 6. Okay, let's get these roses in here. Well, the rose, I'm using Rose GIVCO. Don't have Rose Absolute or Rose Oil. Rose GIVCO is fantastic. It'll do. And then a little bit of heliotropin to give it a little more sweet cherry nuttiness. All right, Rose GIVCO, 0.33. Overdid that just a touch, 0.38. Moving a little too fast. So let me make that note and I will slow it down. Heliotropex N from IFF. Oh, there's just a splash of this in here. 1 drop maybe. Yeah, 1 in a splash. Okay, we mix. Boy, what a beautiful color. Beautiful color. Okay. Now let's smell the animalic notes on top of the vetiver and the resins. Can't pick it up. I can pick up the civet just faintly. Can't pick up the castoreum. I think it blends in nicely with the benzoin and the coumarin. Because castoreum, to my nose, that leathery, that bright leatheriness has a little zing to it, but benzoin and coumarin also have a little bit of top end. That so I'm assuming that it's just blending in really well with that. So next up we have our jasmine notes. We'll continue to keep smelling this. Looks like I need to clean. All right, jasmine. Jasmine and hydroxycitronellal. Jasmin Specialty, 10% dilution, 0.65 grams. Solid. Again, if you can't afford Jasmin Sambac, Jasmin Absolute, just get Jasmin Specialty from Firmenich Shore. You know, whatever company sells their pre-made blend, pre-made accord, they do a pretty dang good job. Don't fret. All right, Hydroxycitronellal, 0.4 grams at 10%. I'm hoping this brightens it up. This lifts it a little bit, takes some of the edge off, so to speak. Before we move on, let's quickly smell the rose ingredients. What a lovely blend. Wow, it's got a nice balance so far. Just adding the rose to the base that we've currently built, it just adds a little bit of floral, rosy body. That's it. Just nice and easy. And it's very well, so far it's balanced. Like right now it feels like it's 50-50 as far as the strength of the fragrance coming off the strip. Half rose, half base. So let's see what happens when we mix our jasmine material. I'm going to let this sit. After this, I've got two more. So we're going to add our Ionone and Irone. And then we're going to do Clove Bud. We're going to give it a sniff. And then we're going to add Galbanum and give that's going to be our final sniff, is the Galbanum. Clove is number 7. Galbanum is number 8. Now I'm interested to see what's going to happen with the Galbanum. Clove, I've noticed in the right dosage, definitely warms up your recipe, your fragrance. If it's in trace amounts, it's almost imperceptible. It just adds a little bit of sauce to maybe rose accords, to some aromatics and herbals. But if you dose it right, it's perceivable in the faintest way, and it really adds some body. All right, let's start with our Ionone. Ionone, now I'm going to double check this because it says Ionone Alpha is only 0.02 grams. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's okay. I thought I was going to put in Ionone, Alpha Ionone, which is expensive, very strong, and I thought I was going to put in 0.45 grams. I'm not. That's going to be Iralia or N-methyl-ionone. Okay. Ionone Alpha. Let's do this. This is only going to be about 1 drop though, so just a little bit. Might be a drop and a splash. No, that's going to do. That's going to do. Ooh, I can smell that. That is lovely. Okay, Iralia Total. Now there's a little bit more of this. There's almost half a gram in this formula. 0.45 grams. That'll do it. Got 0.46 in there. But that's okay. Iris. Let's give it a swirl. Now I'm excited. Once I get this iris dipped, I'm going to go back and smell what the jasmine notes did to our base and to our rose. So let's see. Jasmine. Ooh, lordy, lord. Okay, going back to the rose, the Opoponax, the benzoin resinoid, the vetiver. This is nice. It gives it a little bit of florals. This brings out the florals. It's as if you're putting an exclamation point or you're about to bold or highlight the florals within the formulation. Adding those jasmine notes helps take the rose and just push it forward and out a little bit more. That's lovely. Usually I'll add the iris notes before, or the ionones before the jasmine, because I notice the ionones tend to balance out rose pretty well. They're ionones. It's a nice blend. It's a nice addition. Nothing I feel like I want to go crazy about. You know, like, oh boy, I didn't expect that. It's just classic Ionone smell. Adding to the florals. It's giving a little bit more body, a little bit more pizzazz to the florals, but that's lovely. So we've got 2 left. Clove, Galbanum. Let's do the clove. Now the clove is at 0.13%, Ooh, I almost put in a Galbanum. 0.13% of the formulation. Let's see. Now this is 1 drop. No? Are you? 1 drop will do it. Yeah, 1 drop's going to do it. Okay. Now I am going to smell this. We are going to take a separate sample. We are going to smell this. Okay. I'm going to let that sit. While we're letting that clove sit, let's add the Galbanum. The Galbanum is at 10% dilution here, 0.08 grams. I think that's a fair bit of Galbanum. This stuff's strong. It's green, it's waxy, it's milky fatty. This is the smell I get when I'm pulling weeds outside. And I just get this waxiness, that milk sap on my hands. That's the smell of Galbanum. And it's strong. It can ruin a fragrance if you overdose it. So I'm interested to see what happens here. It's 0.08, so I'm halfway there. Ooh, let me give it just a splash. There we go. Yep, spot on. At least 0.079. That's as close as I want to get with this. So we'll mix, or at least shake, shake, shake. Stir. Let's give this a dip. Look at this color. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's go back to the iris. We're going to check our florals. It's starting to settle. The ionones are starting to settle into the jasmine and rose, blending into that vetiver heavy base, which is just gorgeous. I'm really pleased so far. This is not musk, oak, moss. Musk, oak, moss base with that civet that's smells aged, smells old. Here's the clove. The clove is barely perceptible. It's adding something special. It is definitely there, and it is adding something special to the formulation. But it is subtle. It is very subtle. This, for example, might be the difference between someone smelling something and going, yeah, that's nice, and someone smelling something and going, oh, I really like that. It's something as subtle as adding in a little clove. But that is very nice. Now, the final ingredient, Galbanum. Oh, it's not the final ingredient. I've got bergamot. What am I doing? Galbanum's nice. I can't get the greenness, but I get the waxiness. The waxiness is going through. Oh, I get a little green. Let's let this settle. I get a little green. Let's top it off with our bergamot. Now the bergamot is 100%. Let's see. Berg. Last one. This is number 9. 0.052 grams at 100%. I'm hoping this really brightens it up, as bergamot usually does. Okay, that was a little heavy on the bergamot, but that's okay. Okay. I'm going to make that correction because I got 0.72, not 0.52 of the bergamot. We'll give it a little stir, a little shake. And let's give it a dip. Okay. We'll go back to the Galbanum. Okay. Vetiver heavy. florals are nice. Give it some body up through the middle. The Galbanum tops it off nicely. It's almost as if it creates a through line from the bottom all the way through the top of the fragrance. Yeah, that's nice. Let's smell the Bergamot edition. Needs time. Okay. It's very nice. It's very nice. I am so tempted to add something like Hedione just to give it that extra floralcy, that extra, you know, up-to-date, yeah, that up-to-date vibe. But there is no Hedione or anything in this. So we're going to leave it there. Let me get a little on my skin. I'm going to get a tester. I'm going to get this in a bottle. Let's see. All right, let's fill this up. I'm going to get another bottle here. Okay. Once I get this in the tester, and then I get some in the bottle, I'll put a little bit on my hand. It is amazing. First of all, it's amazing what happens when you put it on your skin versus when you smell it on a strip. Especially when a fragrance is young like this. When a formulation is young, the molecules aren't like fully blended with it. They're not mixed with each other, you know. Something happens, or something is different about the fragrance. So first, all right, we've got that, that's good. Let's put it into, let's see how much we got. We'll put it into this amber round bottle. And the last couple drops going on the top of my hand. Do that. Let's do this top. Okay. Smelling it off the strip. Vetiver. The bergamot really finishes it off nicely, giving it a top note. Again, that galbanum is approachable. It's there. Tying all the way through the florals, the ionones, jasmine and rose, all the way to the bottom, to the benzoin. That's just wonderful. Now on the skin. It's almost a little sweeter. It's older style. You do get that. You do get the older style. So I'm going to spray this tomorrow. I'm going to give it a try tomorrow. See how it goes. Then I'm going to try it in a week. And it's so interesting. I will say this over and over again. It's so interesting how a fragrance ages or it matures if you just let it sit for a while. So yeah, this is wonderful. I will put the formulation in the show notes, as well as a link to the Fraterworks website where they offer this demonstration formula. Thanks for joining, and until next time.